Hey everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive with me, Bill.
And I'm Daisy. Happy to be back.
We usually dig into like research papers or articles or stuff like that, but
Yeah,
this time it's a little different.
definitely different. This time we're looking at a play script.
Yeah, a play script, a fictional one.
2 acts. And it follows this guy, John.
Oh, John.
Yeah, John. He's like in his late 30s. He's got a wife, Emily,
Okay.
2 kids, Sophie and Jack.
Oh, wow. So like a whole family.
Yeah, so we get to see like his work life. He's an office worker. We get to see him at home with his family.
So it's like a window into how he sees the world.
Exactly. Like we're right there with him, listening to his thoughts and everything.
That's pretty cool. So what's the big question this play is trying to get at?
Well, it's all about finding meaning. But not just any meaning. It's about finding meaning in the everyday, like those little ordinary moments, you know?
Yeah, like can you actually be content with just like normal life?
That's what we're going to explore.
I like it. So where do we start with this whole thing?
Okay, so the play just drops us right into John's morning. Imagine like a chaotic kitchen. You know how it is. The kids, Sophie and Jack, they're arguing over breakfast.
Oh, I know that scene all too well. My kids are the same way. Cereal, always the cereal.
Yeah, John's there too, but he's glued to his phone already, feeling like, blah, just another day. The same routine.
So he's already feeling stuck.
Totally. And it kind of carries over to work too. Later in the play, we see him at the office. Deadlines, meetings, the usual.
Yeah.
But he's just going through the motion.
I think we've all been there, like just on autopilot.
Right. And he even says to his coworker, Dave, he says, I feel like I'm living the same day over and over again. Like he's totally over it.
Wow. Yeah, that's rough.
And this is where like the whole existential crisis thing comes in,
Right.
He's searching for something more, some kind of meaning beyond just working and going through the motion.
Makes you wonder, like, what's he even looking for?
Well, that's the thing. He doesn't even know. There's this part where he says something like, I feel like I'm chasing something, but I don't even know what it is.
Whoa. Like
Yeah.
he's on a quest, but there's no destination.
Yeah, exactly. And that's actually a big problem a lot of people face. Like, we get caught up in this idea of chasing happiness, but we don't even know what it is we're really chasing.
So like we end up chasing the wrong things.
Sometimes it's like there's always something more we think we need. More money, a bigger house, a better job.
And John's got a family, right?
Yeah, he's got Emily and the kids.
You'd think that would be enough for him. Like they should give him some meaning.
You'd think so. But it seems like John's looking for something else. He's missing something.
Okay, so what does Emily think about all of this?
Well, Emily is like the voice of reason. She keeps trying to show John that he already has everything he needs, a loving family, a nice home. She even asks him, what more do you want?
And he doesn't have an answer, does he?
Nope. And that's where Act 1 leaves us hanging.
Okay, so John's stuck. He knows something's missing, but he has no clue what it is. And he's got his wife, Emily, who's trying to help him see what's right in front of him.
That's the setup.
That's pretty intense.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see where this goes in Act 2.
Me too. I think it's going to get even more interesting from here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like he's stuck between what society tells him he should want and what he actually feels inside.
And then Act 2 starts with him at work again.
Back at the office.
Yeah, and he's with Dave again, his coworker, right?
Right. They're in the break room, just chatting. And this is where things start to get really interesting.
Oh. How so?
Well, Dave, he's always seemed so chill about everything. Like he's content with just the simple things in life.
Yeah, he never seems to stress about anything.
Exactly. And in this scene, he kind of drops this little piece of wisdom on John.
Like what?
He basically says that maybe the answer isn't about getting more stuff or chasing after achievements. He talks about the importance of just being present in the moment and finding contentment in that.
That's pretty deep coming from Dave. You wouldn't expect that from him.
I know, right? It's like he has this hidden depth to him, but it makes you think, maybe we're all so busy trying to get somewhere that we forget to appreciate where we are right now.
Yeah, like we're always looking ahead to the next thing instead of just enjoying the moment.
And that's something that a lot of philosophers and spiritual teachers have talked about, you know? Like the idea of finding peace and fulfillment in just being.
Oh, yeah, like mindfulness and stuff like that, right?
Exactly. It's about paying attention to the present moment without judgment. And it seems like Dave's words really hit home for John.
Oh, really?
There's this scene later that night where he's having dinner with his family. And it's just like a normal family dinner, The kids are being kind of crazy. Emily's there smiling at him.
Yeah, I can picture it.
And suddenly John has this realization. He looks at his family and he sees that maybe what he's been searching for all along has been right there in front of him this whole time.
Wow. So it only took him like half the play to figure that out.
Well, hey, sometimes it takes a while for things to click, right?
True.
But that scene is so powerful because it shows how much our perspective can change everything.
Yeah.
John starts to see those ordinary moments, like the crazy breakfast routine, the family dinners. He starts to see them as blessings instead of burdens.
Like he's finally seeing what Emily's been trying to tell him all along.
Exactly. He realizes that the meaning and connection he's craving, it's not out there in some distant future. It's right here, right now, in the relationships he already has.
Okay, so that's a pretty big shift for John. Going from feeling totally lost to realizing that he actually has everything he needs.
Right. And it's interesting how the play kind of changes the meaning of nothingness. At first, John sees it as like this emptiness, like something is missing. But after his realization, it becomes something totally different.
What do you mean?
Well, it becomes this feeling of peace, like a feeling of contentment and just being present in the moment. Like he's not chasing anything anymore. He's just being...
So the nothingness actually becomes everything he was looking for.
Yeah, kind of like that.
That's a pretty powerful message.
It is.
So basically, John goes from feeling like he's missing something to realizing that he already has it all.
Yeah.
Interesting. It makes you wonder if we're all kind of missing that, you know?
Yeah.
Like we're so busy chasing things, we forget to just like be.
Yeah. It's like our culture is all about striving for more stuff, more success, more everything. But this play reminds us that maybe true happiness isn't about adding more to our lives, but about appreciating what we already have.
Like it's almost radical, right? To find contentment in nothing.
It is, but the play doesn't frame it as giving up. It's more about making a choice, like choosing to focus on the present moment, to find joy in those simple things.
Yeah, and there's actually a lot of research that backs that up.
Oh, yeah, totally. Like studies on mindfulness and gratitude show that those things can really make a difference in how we feel, you know?
So it's not just a nice story. There's real science behind it.
Exactly. And the play ends on this really sweet note. We see John and Emily, they're just sitting on the couch.
Just hanging out.
Yeah, the TV's off. They're just enjoying being together. It's like this perfect image of the peace John has found.
Just in the ordinary stuff.
Exactly. And it's a good reminder for all of us, I think. Those little moments, the ones I often take for granted, they can actually be the most meaningful.
Yeah, for sure.
So I guess the big question for our listeners today is, are you like John at the beginning of this play? Are you stuck in that cycle of always wanting more?
Ooh, that's a good one.
What would it look like for you to embrace that nothingness, those little everyday joys that we talked about?
Those are some really good things to think about. Maybe if we all just slowed down a bit, we'd see that the nothing we're so afraid of might actually be everything we've been looking for.
Right.
Well, that about wraps it up for this deep dive. Thanks for exploring this with us.
Thanks for having me.
And until next time, keep diving deep.